History of taxonomy. First of all, what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the scientific process of arranging things into groups. Any history of biology must start with Aristotle's geology, one of the earliest studies of the natural world and a true defining moment in the scientific history. Aristotle's geology earns this brilliant mind the title of the father of biology. So, Aristotle is known as father of biology and father of geology. He classified plants on the basis of morphological character, that is, growth habit, in three groups. First, trees, second, shrubs, third, herbs. Now we will understand what is morphological character. Morphology is related to the branch of biology that deals with the form of living organism, shape, size, structure. Now, Theophrastus. He was a student of Aristotle. He was a scholar, botanist, biologist, and physicist. On the strength of his works, he is known as father of ancient plant taxonomy and father of botany. Both Theophrastus and Aristotle was a Greek political philosopher. Theophrastus wrote book on plants, Historia Plantarum. He classified plant kingdom into four groups on the basis of morphological character, that is, growth habit. First, trees, second, shrubs, third, undershrubs, and fourth, herbs. He proposed the term annual, biennial, and perennial. We will understand annual, biennial, and perennial. Annual, that completes its life cycle from germination to the production of seeds within one growing season. Biennial is a flowering plant that takes 2 years, and perennial, simply a plant that lives more than 2 years. Now we will talk about the Carolus Linnaeus. He was the first to frame principles for defining natural genera and species of organisms and to create a uniform system for naming them, known as binomial nomenclature. His real name was Carl von Linné, but on the basis of work in Latin language, he changed his name to Carolus Linnaeus. He was the Swedish scientist. His major groupings in the hierarchy of groups were the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. He is known as father of taxonomy, father of plant taxonomy, and father of animal taxonomy. Linnaeus gave the two kingdom system classification. He grouped plants and animals into kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia respectively. George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker Both Wentham and Hooker were related to Royal Botanical Gardens. They used natural classification system. They wrote they wrote the book Genera Plantarum, 1862 to 1883. In this book, Wentham and Hooker gave the biggest and natural classification of a spermatophyta, that is, plants with seeds. They in this book they divided spermatophyta into 202 families and three classes: dicotyledon, gymnospermy, and monocotyledon. A. W. Ichler. Ichler gave the first phylogenetic classification of plant kingdom. He divided plant kingdom into two subkingdoms, Cryptogamia and Phanerogamia. Ichler classified plant kingdom into five divisions and arranged them in the order of evolution: Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperm, and Angiosperm. Cryptogamia are those plants in which sex organs are not visible, and Phanerogamia are those plants in which sex organs are visible. We will talk about Oswald Tippo, who proposed the biggest phylogenetic classification of plant kingdom. This classification is the complete classification of plant kingdom. This is the most acceptable classification for books and studies. He divided plant kingdom into two subkingdoms on the basis of embryo: Thallophyta, in which embryo is absent, and Embryophyta, in which embryo is present. Then he divided Embryophyta into two divisions on the basis of vascular tissue: Atractia and Tracheophyta. Atractia, non-vascular plants, and Trachea, vascular plants. R. H. Whittaker. R. H. Whittaker was the first to propose the five kingdom taxonomic classification of the world's biota into the Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, Protista, and Monera in 1969. He proposed five kingdom classification, and the kingdom defined by him were named as Monera, Protista, Fungi, Mycota, Plantae, and Animalia. The main criteria used by him for making classification are cell structure, that is complexity of cell; thallus organization, that is complexity of organism or body organization; third, mode of nutrition; fourth, reproduction or life cycle or lifestyle; fifth, phylogenetic relationship. Five kingdoms are as follows. Kingdom Monera, in which all the prokaryotes, eubacteria, rickettsia, actinomycetes, blue-green algae, archaebacteria, and mycoplasma. Protista, in which all the unicellular eukaryotes, mycota, fungi, true fungi. Plantae, all the multicellular plants, algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, angiosperm; and kingdom Animalia, all the multicellular animals. One thing to note here that R. H. Whittaker In five kingdom classification, virus, viroid, and lichens are not mentioned. Now, another person whose name was Carl Uz, who gave three domain theory, that is, six kingdom system. He first introduced in 1990. That is why it's called Carl Uz classification. He gave three domain theory. Domain is super kingdom category and extra taxonomic category. In these three domains, six kingdoms are included. He suggested separate kingdom for Archaebacteria.